Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into it. We're looking at sources that claim to have a roadmap, like a step-by-step guide to getting rich, and importantly, without needing luck or some crazy talent or, starting with a pile of cash.
Exactly. And this isn't just theory. We're analyzing a system, 7 specific rules based on one entrepreneur's journey. Someone who apparently went from broke at 24 to a millionaire by 27, and now reportedly worth over $100 million. So it's about a system for building wealth and freedom, not just chasing a high salary.
Right, moving from working for money to having money work for you. That's the goal. So let's dive in. Let's unpack these 7 rules. Rule number 1, where do we even start? What does rich actually mean according to this system?
Well, it's simpler than you might think. It's defined as one thing.
Yeah.
Freedom. Just freedom. The kind where you don't have to trade your time for money anymore because your assets, they generate enough to cover your life indefinitely.
Okay, freedom. I like the sound of that. But how do you put a number on freedom? How much money actually buys that?
That's where they bring in the sometimes debated 4% rule. It's a way to calculate the capital you need. Basically, enough capital so you can live off the passive returns safely, forever. The math is pretty straightforward.
Hey, lay on me.
You figure out your desired annual income, let's say $100,000 a year, just as an example. Then you divide that number by 0.04.
$100,000 divided by 0.04. Okay, that spits out $2.5 million. Wow, that number feels huge, like almost impossible if you're starting from scratch. Is that really achievable?
It sounds crazy, I know. But here's the crucial part, the context. The 4% rule isn't just pulled out of thin air. It's based on, historical market data. It assumes a few things, like a balanced investment portfolio, think stocks and bonds, and it accounts for inflation over decades. The point the source makes is, yes, the number looks daunting, but compound interest, especially if you start early, makes it less insane than it first appears.
Compounding needs fuel, though. You need money to make money work. You can't get to $2.5 million on minimum wage. Which, I guess, leads us straight into rule number 2, mastering a high-income skill.
Precisely. You have to generate the initial capital. And the fastest way is by becoming exceptionally good at something the market values highly. It means investing in yourself first. And interestingly, this doesn't necessarily mean formal education like college.
So what kind of skills are we talking about?
The system simplifies it nicely into what they call the 4 M's. These are basically the 4 areas where people consistently pay top dollar. First is make. Actually creating things, like high-end video editing, coding custom software, writing killer scripts, skilled creation.
Okay, make. What else?
Second is market, getting attention, building an audience, directing focus towards buying something. It's about generating demand. Third is monetize sales. This is the actual closing, getting someone to agree, to hand over the money, facilitating the transaction. And fourth is manage, overseeing things, managing complex projects, people, or solving big problems for clients or companies.
Okay. Make, market, monetize, manage. But I noticed you listed market before monetize sales. Most people think sales is king. Why does the system see marketing as more valuable and sales as easier?
Yeah, it's a key insight. The thinking is, attention is the real currency today. Marketing builds the audience, the trust, the desire. If you're brilliant at marketing, you create a situation where the sale becomes much, much easier. The trust is already there. So while closing skills, sales are vital, they're often easier to learn once you have a steady stream of interested people, which marketing provides. You can be the best salesperson, but with no leads.
You're selling to an empty room. It makes sense.
Okay.
But the source says you need to commit to mastering one of these for 1,000 days. That's almost 3 years. Why that specific number?
It's about hitting a tipping point. Moving beyond just being competent to where the skill becomes second nature, almost unconscious. It's the time needed, they argue, to build a genuine, what they call unfair advantage, deep expertise. And the commitment has to be absolute, like deciding you will be world-class in that one specific thing and sticking with it no matter what for those 1,000 days.
Okay, so you put in the 1,000 days, you master a high-income skill, the cash is flowing in, maybe you're making great money as a consultant or a top creator. But wait. The system says even a huge salary isn't enough. Why? That pushes us into rule number 3, ownership.
This is fundamental. It's the firewall, really, between just being well-paid and being truly wealthy, truly free. Think about it. Wages feed you day to day. Ownership is what frees you long-term. Take a highly paid surgeon or a partner at a law firm. Amazing income, right? But if they stop working,
the income stops because they are the machine.
Exactly. They don't own the machine. They are the machine. A truly rich person, according to this framework, owns the machine, the business, the assets that spits out cash whether they show up that day or not. That's freedom.
Right. So how do you transition from earning high income to owning the machine? The system talks about three phases of investment.
Yes. Phase one is simple. You need cash. So build up your cash reserves from that high-income skill. You need capital to play the game. Phase two is interesting. It's reinvesting in yourself again. But this time, focusing on skills like communication, persuasion, leadership. The source argues these skills pay off faster and bigger initially than investing in external assets.
Okay, build cash, then build. Better you. And phase three, that's putting the cash to work.
That's putting the cash piles into actual assets. Now, for most people, the simplest solid path is low-fee index funds, like the S&P 500. The author mentions even telling his young son to put a large chunk, like 70% of his savings there. It's passive, diversified, proven over time.
But is that the best option according to this?
It's the simplest good option. The force argues the best option, especially early on, is often investing back into your own business or your specific area of expertise. That's where your 1,000 days of mastery give you that unfair advantage. You understand the risks and opportunities way better than an outsider.
Yeah, like the author sticking with software for decades, now leveraging that deep knowledge into AI ventures. He knows that world inside out. That knowledge is leverage.
Perfect transition. Because that brings us right to rule number 4. Use leverage, not labor. This is the game changer. Hard work, grinding it out, it just adds value. Leverage multiplies value. It's the difference between adding 1 + 1 + 1 and multiplying 1 by 10 by 10.
It's that Archimedes quote, right? Give me a lever long enough.
Yeah, then I can move the world. Exactly. The entrepreneur realized that just working harder wasn't getting him the freedom he wanted. He needed multipliers. And the system breaks leverage down into another memorable framework, the 4 C's. These are the main ways to achieve multiplication.
Oh, okay, let's hear them. The 4 C's of leverage.
First, C code. Software, automation, AI. You build it once or set it up once, and it works for you potentially forever, 24/7, without you being there. Ultimate leverage. Second, C content. Creating things like playbooks, training videos, articles, podcasts, like this. You record it once, create it once, and it can reach and teach thousands, even millions. Your effort gets multiplied massively.
Code, content. Got it. What are the other two?
Third, C capital. Using money itself as a lever. Investing money to run ads, hire people, buy equipment, fund opportunities essentially, using money to make more money faster than you could alone. And the fourth C, collaboration. This is about people, learning to recruit, partner with, lead, and manage others effectively. Think of any major leader or influencer.
Like Oprah or Gandhi or...
Exactly. Or massive sports stars like Ronaldo. They leverage huge teams, massive audiences, partnerships, all built on communication and managing relationships. It's human leverage.
Okay. Code, content, capital, collaboration. Those are big levers. For someone listening right now, what's the most practical, immediate first step for leverage?
The analysis points to one thing very clearly for most people starting out. Hire an executive assistant. Seriously. It seems small, but it's often the quickest way to buy back 10, maybe 20 hours of your week currently spent on email, scheduling, admin. Low-value stuff. You're trading money, which your high-income skill now generates, to reclaim your most precious asset. Time. Time you can then reinvest into higher leverage activities.
Buying back time to focus on the other rules, essentially.
Okay.
But even with all this leverage, building this amazing machine, it's useless if no one knows about it, right? Which must be rule number 5. Distribution over creation.
You got it. This is a tough one for many creators and entrepreneurs. A brilliant product or service that nobody discovers is, well, it's just a hobby, a secret. The system is blunt. Your ability to distribute, to get your message and product out there is arguably more important today than the product itself.
The source mentioned a company, Precision, with amazing AI tech.
But zero distribution. They had to build that entire engine from scratch because they'd only focused on making the product perfect. They needed a highway, not just the car. So you need a plan. The source suggests a 4-part distribution strategy. First, pick one channel. Don't try to be everywhere at once. Master LinkedIn or YouTube or TikTok or podcasting. One main platform.
Focus. Okay. What's next?
Second, post daily. Consistency is everything. It's not a short campaign. The source says it's for the rest of your life. And crucially, lead with value. Give away useful information freely. Solve small problems for free. Build trust. Then people will pay you to solve their bigger problems.
Information free, implementation paid. Got it. Part 3.
Build your own media. Get people off the social platforms you don't control where you can be deplatformed or rules change on your email list, your SMS list. This lets you build a direct, owned relationship with your audience.
Mm.
That relationship is the real asset.
Okay, own the connection. And the last part, integration.
Right. Integrate promotion naturally. Don't just stop the value to suddenly run an ad. It needs to feel seamless. Think Mr. Beast selling his Feastables chocolate. The promotion is often woven right into the video's content, part of the story. It doesn't feel jarring. Remember, going viral is mostly luck. Building distribution is a system. You control the system.
Okay, we're earning, investing, multiplying with leverage, distributing. That sounds like a solid path. But then comes the hard part, maybe the hardest. Rule number 6, don't finance your flex.
Oh yeah, this is where many people stumble.
Mhm.
The mentor behind the system says making money is actually the easy part. Keeping it, that's hard. If you make $1 million but spend $1.1 million on lifestyle, you're going backwards. It's simple math, but emotionally difficult. The rule is, any flexing, any luxury spending, must come from the cash flow generated by your assets, not from your core capital or by taking on debt.
And there's a personal story here from the author, right? About a ski trip.
Yeah, painful one. He spent something like $16,000 on a big snowboard trip early in his career, felt like he'd made it. Then the tax bill came for the income that funded the trip, and he realized he hadn't accounted for it. It crippled him financially for months. Huge lesson learned about lifestyle inflation and true cost.
Ouch. So this leads directly into understanding debt properly.
Absolutely. You have to clearly separate good debt from bad debt. Good debt helps you acquire assets that should generate a return. Think borrowing for inventory for your business, running profitable ad campaigns, buying cash flowing real estate, investing wisely back into your business growth. That's using debt as a tool. Bad debt is, well, everything else. Borrowing for fancy cars you don't need, expensive vacations, designer clothes, status symbols. That's just setting your future cash on fire.
Cash on fire, I like that.
Yeah.
So the core principle is,
If the purchase isn't going to pay you back somehow, directly or indirectly, you need to seriously question it. As the saying goes, rich people buy assets, broke people buy liabilities. Or maybe just applause. It often requires real short-term sacrifice, maybe 3 to 5 years of living below your means to build the foundation for permanent freedom later.
sacrifice now for freedom later. Okay. That brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Rule number 7. After all this focus on money, what's the ultimate point?
The ultimate point is not the money itself. Rule 7 is, money is a tool, not the goal. Remember Rule 1, the goal was freedom, not just piling up cash like Scrooge McDuck.
And there's another story here, a cautionary one, about someone hoarding cash.
A really sad one, actually. A friend's father, who ran a food truck for 30 years, worked incredibly hard, saved every spare penny, but he distrusted banks, distrusted investing, so he literally stuffed the cash into the walls of his house.
Oh no, let me guess.
House fire, lost everything. 30 years of hard work, gone. Because he saw money as something to hoard, to protect, not something to use as a tool to build more freedom or security. Money itself isn't good or bad, it's just an amplifier. It makes you more of who you already are. If you're generous, money lets you be more generous. If you're, well, not so nice, money amplifies that too.
So freedom isn't measured by the bank balance ultimately.
It's measured by your calendar. That's the real metric. Can you choose how you spend your time? The goal of using money, using leverage, is to buy back your time. Not necessarily just to sit on a beach, though you could, but to spend that time on creative work, on things you love, on making a bigger impact.
Like hiring the EA, the house manager, the CEO.
Oh, yeah.
Using money to free up your time and energy for the highest value things.
Exactly. And notice that also invests in those people's lives and careers. It
Yeah.
builds an ecosystem. The richness isn't just yours, it expands. That's using money as a powerful tool for creating the life and the calendar you want.
Wow. Okay, so recapping the whole system. Define richness as freedom, Rule 1. Master a high-income skill, Rule 2. Shift to ownership, Rule 3. Multiply with leverage, Rule 4. Master's distribution, Rule 5. Don't finance your flex, Rule 6. And use money as a tool, not the goal, Rule 7.
That's the framework. Mastery, ownership, leverage, distribution, discipline, and purpose.
And maybe the most powerful idea in all of this is that the real win isn't just the financial outcome.
Absolutely. The source emphasizes this strongly. The real reward is who you become in the process of executing this. The skills, the resilience, the understanding of value, the mastery of those 4 C's that makes you incredibly capable. The author says if he lost everything tomorrow, he could rebuild it all in a fraction of the time because he is now the person who knows how. That capability is the real wealth.
That capability is the ultimate asset. It can't be taken away. So, the final thought we want to leave you with today, maybe the truest sign you're on the right path with this, is when the work starts to feel like play. Ask yourself, what are you building? What are you mastering right now that feels so engaging, so fun, you almost can't believe you get to do it? Find that intersection. That's where the real magic happens.